Thank you for watching the Historic Returns tab demo. The Historic Returns tab has two main purposes. One, to help you understand the frequency of different percentage moves for each specific asset, and two, to help you understand how a stock performs under different market conditions. So if you think the market will do well, or if you think the market will do poorly, this data can help you determine how a stock or crypto has historically performed under each scenario, and how its performance in those scenarios compares with the market's performance. We'll use two examples to demonstrate how this tab can be used and what each data point means. For our first example, let's assume you're considering buying or selling options for Apple, and you'd like to know what the probability is that Apple moves up between 2 to 5% tomorrow. You would simply choose your analysis period here, so let's say past year. Then you would select the market condition. For this example, we'll hit all so we can see the data under all market conditions. And now you can see here under the Apple performance graph that Apple in the last year has moved up between 2 to 5% in a day, 26 of the 253 past trading days, so around 10.3% of the time. So now you could use this information when making your decisions as to which options to buy or sell. And if you wanted to see each of the 253 days that are included in the graph, you would go here to the days that meet criteria table, and you can see for each of the past 253 trading days what Apple's daily return was, what the S&P 500's return was, and what Apple's over or underperformance relative to the S&P 500 was for each of those days. And here, you can change the analysis period based on what you think would be the most relevant. So if you had clicked past 10 years instead, the data on the graphs in the table here would now be based on Apple's performance over the past 10 years. And likewise, if you clicked past month or past week, it would be based on Apple's performance for the past month or week. Now for a second example, let's assume your analysis is telling you the market is likely to drop in the near future, and you want to know whether Apple is a good buy in a falling market. First, you choose your analysis period here, let's say past 10 years. Then you'd hit falling market here, which means now the analysis on the graphs in the table below will only be for the days when the S&P 500 fell at least 1%. We can see here that Apple experiences a negative return 92% of the time when the S&P 500 is down 1% or more, and overall has an average return of negative 2% on days the S&P 500 falls by 1% or more. Then if we look at the Apple performance versus market graph, we can see here that 58% of the time when the market drops at least 1%, Apple performs even worse than the S&P 500 and overall experiences an average drop that is 0.3% worse than the S&P 500's drop. So based on this data, it seems historically Apple is not a good stock to own in falling markets. If we had clicked neutral market instead, then the analysis would be based on the days when the S&P 500's return was between negative 1% and positive 1%. And if we had clicked the rising market, then the analysis would be based on days when the S&P 500's return was above 1%. Finally, this analysis can be performed in terms of weekly returns as well. You'd simply click here, and now the analysis is based on the returns for 5 consecutive trading day periods. For weekly returns, clicking falling market condition will mean the analysis is based on any 5 trading day period where the S&P 500 fell 2% or more. Clicking neutral market condition would make it based on any 5 trading day period where the S&P 500's return was between negative 2% and positive 2%. And clicking rising market condition would make it based on any 5 trading day period where the S&P 500's return was 2% or more. That concludes our historical returns tab demo. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or suggestions, please feel free to message us via our 24/7 live chat or send us a message through our contact us section.